Summer's evening down here in Geelong. Looking forward to what is expected to be a fantastic pitch. The Steve Park pitch here is looking superb, as it should be at this stage in the season, and quite a healthy crowd coming in. And looking forward to what will hopefully be a great game.
Thanks, Craig. And we'll just look at the team news now. And for Altona, it's 2 changes to their starting 11 from last week after that 2-0 loss to Sammy Noor and John Stajeski. Out of the team, the suspended Martin Hemmen, and David Trufanov drops to the bench. For Avondale, it's inclusions into the starting 11 for Yusuf Ahmed, Matt Reid and Dylan Yakupi, and out goes the suspended Stefan Zinni. Beverley drops to the bench, and Lundy is out of the matchday squad today. So to the starting lineups for Altona Magic. In goal, it's Shane Vidakangas. A back four of John Stajeski, Charles Fry, Will Nuttall and Bonel Obradovic. In midfield, Brad Murray will provide the anchor. In front of him, Yungo Kim and Ben Lifton. On the left will be Stefan Ristich. Sammy Noor will support Michelle Hemmen, who will be up front. And we're just underway here now. As Altona are getting us underway, they are in the red and black strips. They're playing to the left-hand side of your picture. Touch with Towns, Obradovic. It's a slight breeze blowing across Stead Park. It's known for being a bit of a windy place. It's not anywhere near as bad as it was at the Geelong Community Cup here, which we were at a couple of weekends ago on the Sunday. On that day, unusually it's a strong easterly that day. Today the breeze will be coming from the southwest just to cool things down. It's been a fine and sunny day here. Obradovic looks to get the ball into the box. The chance now for Altona. It's given a goal kick. It's a bright opening for the Magic. They are playing this home game at the venue that belongs to their sister club, Geelong Soccer Club. And that was an involvement for Sammy Noor. He's going to play on the right-hand side of the attack. And it's going to be Chris Oldfield to get us back underway again with the goal kick. Altona pressing high up the field. Katavian gets the touch. Altona looking to surge forward. This is Valentini. Can he get the ball in? Still he goes, Valentini. It's a low ball in. It's aiming for Ahmed Yusuf. Touch for Sakia. This is Ikupi for Sakia. Yite Towns. Towns again. Yakupi. Pressure from Hemmen. Yungo Kim with a little dink down the line. And solid contact there. It was Reid and Hemmen coming together. Reid's just come back in from injury. And there's some unrest here. Hemmen's the man who's down, but he's earning his fair share of discontent here. It could all boil over, Craig.
Yeah, look, that was a shocking challenge in the first couple of minutes. You can see why Avondale are incensed from that, but the referee saw it. So did the fourth official. So we'll just see what action the referee takes on this. But yeah, a full-blooded hack, as I would call it, in the first couple of minutes. Yeah, I don't think it'll be, looking at the referee here, I can't see it being any more than a yellow card. But let's see what the referee comes up with.
We have got the experienced Adam Babkar officiating today. We saw him as the fourth official in the A-League at Ballarat last Sunday. His assistant referees today, Max Hanlon and Josh Drakeford. The fourth official is Mark Tito. There's a little bit of a discussion going on between three of the officials at the moment as to what action to take. They need to decide carefully, especially so early in the match. And the yellow card will be shown to Michelle Hemmen. He looks unhappy with the decision. As he gets back to his feet, just enjoying a drink of water in front of the dugout, getting his breath back. It was a solid contact. You would have heard it at home. We certainly heard it here right in front of us. It was quite frightening. Two players were very committed there.
Yeah, it's happened just in front of us, Steve. Well, right in front of us, actually. So I think, look, it was a nasty challenge. It was a hack more than a challenge, and it probably sounded worse or looked worse than it actually was. But yeah, I think the yellow card was probably the right decision. We get on with the game, and we've got 22 players still on the pitch.
Reed switches the play. Hillier, the central defensive duo, reunited today. This is Carpenter in the left back position. Looks to come inside and then turns it over. Touch here for Ahmed. Into the starting lineup today to replace the suspended Stefan Zinni. This is Yakupi lining up at right back today. No Lundy in the lineup today, as we said earlier. Yakupi plays it over the top, but it's going to run all the way through to Shane Vidakangas. And Hemmon has gone down again in a heap, and we're going to see the ball thrown out of play here. So hopefully Michelle Hemmon is okay. As we said, it was a solid contact. Although Hemmon is as Craig quite rightly put last week, Hemmon is a big unit. He might just be suffering a little bit here. But we'll just go through that lineup for Avondale, which we haven't had a chance to get to yet, with the hurried start to this match. In goal is Chris Oldfield. The back four, Blake Carpenter, Scott Hillier, Matt Reed and Dylan Yakupi. In midfield, the captain, Jonathan Germano, Yite Towns, Tasuku Sakia. Out on the left is Yusuf Ahmed. On the right is Joey Katabian. Up front is Stefan Valentini. On the bench for Avondale, we've got the goalkeeper, Rory Bryan. Charles Beverley drops to the bench this week. And a return for Liam Boland, who will be coming on later in the second half, no doubt. Also on the bench, Joy Spiteri and Christos Theodorakopoulos. Hemmons just wandering around in the technical area for the Magic. Doesn't look too well, does he?
No, I think they're warming up for substitution now and getting him ready. I think Hammond's day's done after the first couple of minutes. He's obviously done himself a nasty injury there, or some kind of injury in the tackle that led to his booking, and unfortunately now he's had to come off the pitch. So we'll just see who's coming on. Looks like it's Lucas Nedanovsky who will be coming on to replace him, I would imagine, as a like for like.
I think the upside of this situation here is, for the Magic, is that Sammy Noor is back into the starting lineup. It's a good source to goal. Obviously a different style of player to Hemmon, but they might be able to play with a more mobile attack. So the young man comes on. That's the number 19, Lucas Nedanovsky. That's confirmation of that substitution. So an early departure for Michelle Hemmon. Hasn't been a great start to the season for the Hemmon boys, but hopefully they can bounce back in the coming weeks. His brother Martin will be back from suspension next week. Back eligible to take up his spot on the right wing. Here's Yite Towns on the run in those long sleeves. Sliding challenge came in there from, it was John Stajeski in the number 6, coming back into the team today. And he's caught him there, and right decision for a free kick.
Yeah, right decision, Steve. But I think another ref might have given a yellow card there. I mean, it was a challenge from behind. It was nowhere near the ball. I think that's sometimes where, and I'm not here to have a go at the referees, but sometimes the referees have to be consistent in their decisions, and that's what upsets coaches and players alike. But it's a free kick here to Avondale, 25 yards out. Got Blake Carpenter's looking as if he's lining up and he's going to have a crack at this one, and he's hit a great shot straight into the wall, and looks as if Brad Murray's going to get the ball away for Magic.
Good challenge over on that far side there. And Stefan Valentini tracking back. He will spearhead the attack today again, as he did last week in the loss to Oakley Cannons in that opening, in the season opener on the Thursday night game. Touch for Catavia now. He's going to look to play in Valentini. It bounced quite high off the turf there. It was a bit unexpected. Just an extra yard high. And Vidakangas comes and collects safely. He did clash with Valentini though. Here's a touch here for John Stajeski. So he's coming into that left back position. Replaced Trufanov, who played there last week. Towns. Outside of the foot twist off there. all style. Goes up the line. This is Yakupi. Little trying to roll it back. Intercepted by Yungo Kim. This is Fry. Bit of space here for Lifton, but can't make the most of it. Yakupi to Towns. Pressure from Ben Lifton. Play goes on. There's a switch there by Katavian. Gets praise from his coach. He found it was Hillier on the far side there. And looks like a professional foul there. It's committed by Tasuku Sakia. And as a result, the Altona dugout, well, they're calling for a yellow card, but Sakia escapes without sanction as Yungo Kim gives it up. A touch here for Ermano. Yakupi up to the halfway line. Brings it inside to Katavian. Yakupi on the overlap. He's still available. Flags up for offside. As the calls for Charlie Fry is to just slow down the tempo a fraction. It's been a frenetic start to this one. As we said earlier, this is two teams yet to get off the mark for season 2020. And as for Avondale, with that point deduction, they are effectively like a backmarker sprinter in the stall gift, giving everyone else a head start. That was aimed at Nednoski. Couldn't get the touch. Touch for Germano. Towns can just shepherd it back as it runs through to Oldfield, the English goalkeeper, Avondale. This is Carpenter. And now Hillier. It's a delightful switch ball out here to this side. Dylan Yakupi. He's looking to go direct. It was flicked on well by Germano. But it was very ineffective because it runs straight through to Shane Vidikangas. Brad Murray for Fry. Murray again. This is Will Nuttall, the number 3 jersey. 1-2 with Lifton. And they run out of room there in front of Bono Obradovic, the man who was one of Altona's best last week, the man who's come from State League 1. Headed by Fry, does enough, gets it back to Shane Vidikangas. He's in that striking all-green goalkeeper kit today. This is Sajeski. Yungo Kim. Stolen by Yakupi though. Sakia and Murray now. Reed. Big challenge on the halfway line. Reed wins it. Here's Yakupi. He's forced to go back and he's had a bit of a howler there, Craig.
Yeah, Magic putting him under a little bit of pressure there, just on the halfway line. Got the turnover, and unfortunately for Yakupi, he put the ball 20 yards backwards, but out of play. So it's a throw in here to Magic. Stojewski with the throw in. Sammy New now looking to take the full back on, and Avondale clear it, and it's all the way back to the Altona Magic defence, just inside. A long ball, it's a long hopeful ball, not really anything on there. So back with Chris Oldfield back in the Avondale goal.
So the game just slows down a touch for everyone to breathe here after this quite frenetic start. Still 0-0. And one keeper plays it to another. We hope you're enjoying this one, whether you're streaming it on YouTube, casting it onto the Lounge Room TV, or if you may be on the move somewhere on Facebook Live. Some people tuning in from various places tonight, wedding receptions and the like even. Don't want to miss the action. NPL Victoria. It's a bright start to round 2 last night. 5 games running Friday night football. And some pretty exciting ones. Obradovic now with the cross. And straight onto the chest of Oldfield. Sammy Noor was the target, and he went to ground. 1 or 2 questions asked about how he ended up coming to ground. And Fry on Katavian. It's another hefty challenge. Adam Babkar is going to call Fry over for a bit of a chat.
Yeah, again, a foul. There was nothing more in it. It's just Joey Kasabian just turned inside and caught the young left back off guard, and I think it's just going to be a stern warning here from referee, telling him to calm it down. As you see, no more. And I think next time he does, he'll be going in a book in a book. So it's a free kick here, just inside the Avondale half for obviously for Avondale. And that's an awful ball. I mean, I'm not sure what he tried there, but Magic are on the attack now. I can't see who that is.
And Germano on the ball now. It's a searching ball. He's looking for Yusuf Ahmed. He's galloping on the left-hand flank here. Looks to take on Obradovic. Still he goes, Ahmed. He needs support. He's looking to go down to his right. Blasted across. Blocked by Fry. This is Lifton. And Ristage. And so looks like a foul there by Towns. No, play goes on. And Reed can bring the ball forward. Here's Joey Kasabian's got space on the right. Looks to go one way, then the other. Gets to the byline. Plays it across. Headed by Ahmed. Now Sakia. Looks to track back and play it back into the box again. In he goes. It's over the top. Fry's gone to ground. And the whistle's gone. And Fry's gone down holding his face. He stooped low for that header, and he might have got a high boot. And he's going to take some time to dust himself off. Hopefully he's not seeing any stars after that impact. Bravery from the former Victory and Bentley Central defender. Had a busy game last week against Hume. Hume, one of the pace setters so far of the season. 2 games, 2 wins, and 2 clean sheets. After that 2-0 win over Green Gully last night. The Northern Suburbs derby. Here's Will Nuttall, the former Melbourne City junior. In for Yungo Kim. It's a crafty touch, and maybe it was too smart for Sammy Noor, who couldn't control it. Now here's Jonathan Germano. Sakia. This is Carpenter. 1-2 with Sakia. Sakia's been busy. Here's Yusuf Ahmed. So good on the dribble. Touchy for Valentini. And Sakia again. He's so busy in the early parts of this game. He's involved in everything. This is Reed. And his pass is overhit. And Yakupi couldn't get in the end of that one at all. 1 or 2 stray passes.
Yeah, a couple of straight passes. Actually, the pitch is in good condition, but there's a lot of bumps and little holes on the pitch. But it's not going to be conducive to brilliant football. But it's in good nick nevertheless. And a couple of sloppy passes early on, Steve, from both sides. I think we're in 16 minutes into the game. All players should be relatively settled now and starting to get into their structure and into the rhythm of play. And it's down the right hand side now for Magic. Great ball through for Sammy New. Great challenge in the box.
It was a good sliding challenge. Then it came in from Hillier. He was busy last week against Oakley. Sakia looking to switch. So composed on the ball. That's one thing we've seen so far today. That there's a lot of pressure out there and a lot of passes going not to the intended target. And in the end, Vidakangas going to have time to reboot here for the Magic. So currently Altona Magic, their change rooms are being reconstructed. And that's why this match has been shifted to sister club Geelong Soccer Club here, Stead Park, or Jenna Steele Park as it's known by the advertising hoardings up there. This is Yakupi. He's been good so far. Stepping in for Lundy at right back today. This is Reed sharing it with Hillier. Hillier can bring the ball forward. There's Carpenter on that far side. Looking to go direct. Cut out by Obradovic, their fellow fullback. Former Casey Comet. Yungo Kim and Murray looking for Lifton. And another coming together there. The ball just hung awkwardly in the air and both players committed to it, and another coming together.
Yeah, look, free kick again. Again, I'm sure it's a yellow card. But look, it's a free kick, so it's definitely a free kick. It was spoilt the play, dived in and gave a silly free kick away. So opportunity here for Magic to get one into the box. They're not blessed with height, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this one, especially with Hammond going off now. So their big sort of target man is off the field, and they haven't really got any big men up front. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do. But I can imagine the ball's just going to be pumped into that 18-yard box between his penalty spot and the 6-yard box, and see if somebody can get on the end of it.
And it's going to be Yungo Kim to take the free kick on the left foot. The 33-year-old lines up. He'll have the wind behind him. It is a southerly here at Stead Park. In it goes to the near post. It's a touch by Valentini. And they were on for the break here. If that ball could have stayed in, it looks like it's going to be Sachevsky who can just shepherd that one out. And Katavian couldn't quite get there. So a well-defended set piece by Avondale there. They certainly have the height with those imposing centre-backs, Hillier and Reed. Up the line by Sachevsky. He's looking for the substitute, Nednovsky. Good opportunity for him today, Craig, getting on early. He didn't get on last week against Hume, but he's got his chance today with that injury to Hammond. Yeah,
of course, as we know, Magic are down to, I'd say, probably the bare bones, and especially now with Hammond going off. So good opportunity for Nedvesky to get on the pitch, get some game time, get some running. Obviously, they'll have a couple of players back for next week that got red carded last week, who just happened to have the one game. So good opportunity for him today to stake his place for next week. And he's going to be busy, so he's going to really have to work up there. As it looks as if actually he's come to the left-hand side here, and they push Sammy Muir as more of an attacking forward player, Steve. So it's again, he's putting himself about there, Nedvesky. So, and a shot away, and it's just wide. Great shot, but poor defending that from Magic for me. It was in the corner of the pitch. Get it out, reset yourself. But Avondale managed to get out there and get the shot away. Just whispers past the far post.
Yeah, two players have impressed so far. Definitely Yusuf Ahmed is one of them. He's so elegant on the ball, on the dribble, coming in from that wide position on the left. And his shot there wasn't far away. But also Sakia, he's been getting in all those little spaces in between the Altona lines, bringing his wingers and also the front man Valentini into play. So we're just hearing that there is some technical issues with the Facebook link. So if you are watching now, we will assume that you're watching on YouTube. Here comes the chance for Valentini. Valentini with the shot, and it goes wide. It's a huge chance, under pressure from Nuttall. Bit of Kangas came out, and how far was that from that far post? It can only have been a couple of inches at the most. Yeah, it was another good opportunity for them, two in the space of 2 minutes. And we watched it last week, and too many times last week for me, Magic got cut open at the back there with a ball through behind the fullbacks. And again, with Joey Kasabian on the right-hand side here, that's what they're looking for. They're trying to get that ball in between the fullback and the centre-back, and hopefully there's a mistake there to pounce. But that wasn't far away, so that's two in a couple of minutes. So they're putting the pressure on Avondale here and looking to get on the score sheet as quick as they can. Yeah, good head from the big lad Reed at the back there. He's a very big unit. Is Matt Reed? I have to say he's probably 6 foot 2, 6'3", but built like the proverbial brick house. As you look at Scott Hillier and Reed's even maybe just a couple of inches or an inch maybe taller again. Also got in their defensive stocks Charles Beverley, who was in the starting 11 last week. So we see the Avondale subs warming up now, which do include 22 goals last season, Liam Boland. Here's Germano's touch, is a bit heavy. This is Murray now. Pressure from Germano. Yungo Kim. Running out of space there. Come off Katavian. It will be a throw to the Magic. As we said, so the second top scorer for Avondale last season, Stefan Zinni with 12. He's out suspended for this week. That red card shown for a high boot last week against the Oakley Cannons. Here's a touch for Yungo Kim. Yute Towns. And Hermano goes back to Reed. Now Hillier. And here's Carpenter with some space on that far side. Plays it into Valentini. First touch looking for Sakia. Pressure from Obradovic. Put the arm over the shoulder. Adam Babkar won't let this one go unpunished. Pulls him up for the free kick. But there will be no further sanctions for Obradovic. It's a bit cheeky there, putting the arm over the shoulder.
Yeah, look, I can't say it's a clever foul because it's in the wrong area to be a clever foul, but just an arm on the shoulder here, and it's a free kick just on the edge of the Avondale or the Magic box. I would imagine it's not. They've changed it, so I thought it was going to be a right footer, but it looks as if Blake Carpenter's going to whip this in with his left foot from where we are. So again, we're the big boys are up. Matt Reid and Scott Hillier in the box, and we'll see what comes of this free kick. But it looks like a left. Blake Carpenter's going to take it. No, he's not. He's left it. Big ball in. Oh, and again, another opportunity. Another opportunity goes begging there for Avondale. So the pressure's on. The pressure's coming, and Magic just need to focus a little bit there at the back. Make sure that their men are marked, because that's a couple of times now that they've got free.
It's a delightful ball in by Sakia, and Reid was there, and there was one or two bemused looks as the Avondale players couldn't believe how it didn't happen. Now here's Nednoski. It's his chance here to tangle with Yakupi, and still the tussle goes. Yakupi comes away with it in the orange boots, and he wins the foul. You could see there was a tug of the shirt there by Lucas Nednovski. And Avondale wasting no time restarting here over to that far side. Carpenter, the former Dandenong Thunderman, and he's almost undercooked that pass, but gets it back to Hillier in time. It's okay. Midfield tussle there between Lifton and Towns. In the end, no one wins out. And it's going to run through, and it's going to be a touch for Goran Orzanowski, the coach of the Magic, who puts his arms up in disgust at that touch by Charles Fry. And it's going to be given as a throw, taken by Katavian. Here's Valentini, tangling in the box, plays it across, and a timely interception by Vitikangas. Got the boot behind that one. Good touch by Carpenter. He's been good so far. Now Reid, Yakupi, looking to take on Nednoski again. And the flag's up there again. And one or two protests that the whole ball hadn't crossed the line. And it's taken by John Stachewski. Takes it early, straight through to Reid though. Stachewski and Nednoski were not on the same page, you could say. Touch for Nuttall. Good ball by him. This is Ristich, who was so good last week playing down the left. A different role for him today. Ball through looking for Yusuf Ahmed. He's onside here. He's been played on. Now, Wills Nuttall is the defender. Comes across. And good bit of defending. Altona got three players back. Obradovic now. And now Jungo Kim. And good bit of defending by Reid coming out of that defensive line. Doing well. Now, here's Yusuf Ahmed again. He's got some space on the left-hand side. Looks to get around Nuttall. Challenge from Murray and away by Obradovic. So it's all hands on deck for Altona at the moment. They're just battling to hang on here. Still 0-0, no. Yakupi, Sakia, and bounces back to Yakupi. He's got Katavian to his right. Cross by Katavian, hangs it up into the southerly, and it just goes behind into the baseball net. That will be a goal kick to the Magic.
Yeah, I think a bit of mentioned earlier on regarding the pitch, and I think you see a few bobbles here as the players are trying to play. It's not as flat as it looks on the screen here, but still an opportunity there to put a good ball into the box after some good build-up play from Avondale. But it's back with Vitikangas in the goals there, and time for Altona just to settle a little bit, organise themselves a little bit, but it's going to be a tough afternoon for them. They are depleted in terms of numbers. They haven't got a massive squad as we said earlier on. So I think for them today, it's get in the faces of Avondale as much as they possibly can. Try and stop them from playing as much as they can, and hope that they can get something in the other end.
Here's Germano in the centre of Stead Park. Looks to juggle it over the top of Murray. Murray gets the boot in. But here's Germano again. And in the end, it's been paid for a handball. Murray's in a rush to take it. The call from the bench is take it easy, Brad. Slow it down. The former Werribee man can step up and let Fry take it instead. Valentini standing in the way. Now they take it. Fry, he's under pressure from Germano. Almost panicked a bit there. And here's Sakia looking to play in. He's looking for Katavian, but it's actually blocked by Valentini. So a bit of angst from Zoran Markovsky and co in the Avondale dugout because they were in for a chance there if they hadn't ricocheted off a teammate. Here's Sakia looking to play the diagonal ball for Katavian, but again, the southerly is going to carry that ball out every time. It's quite strong, so it's blowing towards this broadcast side of the ground from that club room side. Nice facilities in there behind the glass here at Jenna Steele Park, or Stead Park if you like. Recently renovated in the last couple of years. Katavian with the block. Altona will get the throw. So it's a bit of a new look to the NPL Vic match days this year. We now have the under-18s playing as well before the under-20s and the seniors. So every week it's a triple header. And it was the case here today. Also today we had a practice match between local club here, Geelong Soccer Club, against Preston. That one ended 0-0 for anyone wanting to know. It's played in fairly warm conditions. It's just cooling off a touch here now. It's been a very nice and sunny day in Geelong. Jungo Kim, back to John Stajeski. It's away by Reed. Good header by Valentini, that was strong. Obradovic's first to it though. And Valentini follows up again. He's been busy up front so far today. And in the end, in frustration, he just boots it into the fence there. Just in front of the players' race here at Stead Park. Still 0-0. The main event so far was that forced substitution of Michelle Hemmen after he had a clash with Matt Reed in the early moments of the game. And that early substitution was a chance for Nicholas Nednowski to get involved. So he's currently playing up front with Sammy Noor for the Magic. Free kick given by Bavkar. And we have got confirmation that we are back up and running on Facebook Live. We apologise for any technical issues we might have had. And here comes Avondale. Sakia in for Yusuf Ahmed, looking to go back to Sakia. He's in the area. He goes left and right. In, and there's the goal. It's Reed stooping down low, the big centre half. Straight in, easy as you like. Great lead-up play by Sakia. And Avondale take the lead, 1-0. And they are up and running as they get involved in a big group hug there. It's high fives all around for Avondale.
Yeah, some good movement in the box there from Avondale. Nice and calm, composed in and around the box, and little dink into the far post, and then was the big man at the back who's hasn't started the game particularly well, but he'll be pleased that he's got on the goal sheet. And as I said a couple of minutes ago, it's been coming. Avondale have had 2 or 3 opportunities, and finally putting the ball in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to Avondale.
So a successful return to the starting 11 after injury for Reed. Now 1-0, they lead Avondale. Here's Valentini getting involved. Germano with the switch to Sakia and Towns. Sakia looks to strike it. And Vidikangas, no problems catching that one. Fry. Stajeski. Good block by Katavian. Certainly a feature of Avondale has been the defence from the front. Katavian's been a big part of that. Stajeski, and there he goes again, blocked by Katavian. Altona are gaining metres. It's throw looking for Noor. And it's pumped onto the second pitch here at Stead Park by Reed. Lifton with the 1-2. Stajeski hangs it into the 6-yard box, but there's no one there except for Chris Oldfield. Carpenter up the line. Germano. Keep it is the call from the Avondale dugout. Touch by Katavian to Sakia. good little combinations here. This is Towns. Towns, he loves that outside of the foot twist-off move. Carpenter up to Valentini, wrestling with Ristich, and tackled by Towns. Valentini comes away with it. Up the line by Carpenter, looking for Yusuf Ahmed. If he can keep it in, they could be in business here. Cuts it back, only as far as Fry. Katavian, Valentini, 2-0! Stefan Valentini on the left foot, puts it in the bottom right corner. And this is a fantastic start for Avondale now. It was hard work last week, but now things are looking up for the boys from Avenger Park. 2-0 now, they lead.
Yeah, and again, Steve, another good build-up play, but very poor defending from Magic. They look at 6s and 7s at the back there, very disorganised. Doesn't seem to be any cohesion there. So there's a big job on here for the red and blacks, and you know they're being pummeled every time Avondale get the ball. They look promising. They look as if they're going to be. They're certainly attacking with intent, and they look as if they're going to cause a problem every time they get the ball. So just need to calm down a little bit, get the ball under control, try and get on the ball as much as they can, and stop Avondale from playing. Because every time, as the time they get, as I say, they're looking to get forward. And here we go. They've given the ball away already. Ball's played to Joey Kasabian there, and he gets the ball. Brad Murray, great tackle in. Stay on your feet. The ball goes back to Matt Reed here at the back, and back through to Chris Oldfield, and they start out again. But yeah, very sloppy from Magic at the moment.
It's a switch ball. Carpenter's on the overlap. He's kept it in. Pressure comes from Obradovic. Played in early, bounced in front of Shane Vidikangas, but he caught it easily. You just feel he's going to be in for a very busy evening already. He's already had to pick 2 out of the net. And there's just 1 or 2 forlorn figures out there for the Magic at the moment. They need a spark, and they need to turn it around somehow. Last week, as we said last week, someone who impressed me was Stefan Ristich. He was playing on the left flank and finding a bit of joy getting space when they were able to switch the play. At the moment, he's been playing more on the right-hand side today, but not as an out-and-out wide man. He hasn't had the same impact as he did last week. It's a touch by Lifton. And now Sakia, Germano. This is Reed. Touch for Oldfield. Hillier to Carpenter. Germano. Keep it moving is the call from the Avondale dugout, and that's what they do. Here's Katavian. Yakupi provides the overlap, and here he goes. Yakupi gets to the byline. Can he keep it in, though? Flag was up for a goal kick. He's chased by Charles Fry. Taken quickly. Yungo Kim into Lifton. A little bit more space here for the Magic all of a sudden. The play is just a little bit too static at the moment. Chance for Lifton now, though. Looking for support. Comes back inside. Brad Murray plays it over the top. It's a decent ball. Lifton brings it down. Lifton with a shot. Saved by Oldfield. That's better by the Magic. That's the spark that they need. It's an easy save for Oldfield, but that's better signs for the Magic.
Yeah, look, at least they got the shot away. It's the first of the game, and we're in the 37th minute. So the first opportunity that they've had, great little dink from Brad Murray in the middle of the park, and dinked in for Lifton, who hit it straight at Oldfield. But just thinking just now, Steve, you know, we were looking at Magic here as Avondale are on the break again. But we look at Magic here, and we spoke about it last week. They have got a brand new squad here, playing together. You know, 10 of the 11 players started last week were brand new to the club. 2 of those players were sent off during the game. They've had another player that's come off injured in the first 5 minutes today. So, you know, it is going to be tough for them. It's going to take them a few weeks to get into it for sure. And it's going to be a tough season if they don't get things right pretty quickly. But like I said, they are a brand new team, all learning to play with each other. So it's going to take a bit of time for them.
That's right. They will have the inclusions of Nicholas Sett and Martin Hammond next week. And hopefully that injury to Michelle Hemmond today isn't too bad. It's saying it is a smaller squad. Touched by Nuttall. It's going to fall to Avondale though. And Ute Towns playing it out here to Joey Katavian. First time pass. That was nice. Valentini now. He's out wide on the right. Looks inside for his options. It's away by Obradovic. Pressure from Hermano. Obradovic in again. Throw to Avondale. And Fry's just gone down here. So we're just going to, we're going to call for the trainer. So there's going to be a slight delay in this one. But late in the first half now. There's hardly been time to breathe. This first half, a lot of it, players are coming over for a drink for Avondale. And taking on some instructions. So big round of matches in NPL Victoria last night, highlighted by that 3-3 draw between Melbourne Knights and Dandenong Thunder. Crazy finish of that one, Craig.
That was an unbelievable game, Steve. I watched it on the Facebook stream through my TV, which was very nice, and what a game. Unbelievable from one end to the other. At one point you looked like Melbourne Knights were going to stroll away with it. Thunder came back with a Marafiotti goal. Kuehl came on and scored with his first touch to make it 2-2, and then the last 10 minutes of the game was something to behold. And Brandon Barnes coming up with the winner, or the leveller, in the 96th minute with what was effectively the last kick of the game. And I know he was having a lot of stick off the Melbourne Knights supporters yesterday about his weight and the size of his belly, but fair play to that guy. He can finish. What a game of football that was, and great for the NPL.
How about the celebration after the goal? It was quite good, wasn't it?
That was fantastic. You know, you take your top off, stick your belly out. I do that on a regular basis without having to take my top off, Steve. So, no, he's some player, Brandon Barnes, and you know, it's fantastic that the NPL can have players like that playing, because on his day he's untouchable.
It's good skill by Valentini. Gets past two players. Now Katavian looking to go onto his right boot and drills it. And it was so close to being 3-0, but it was a good save by Vitikangas. Stretched out the right paw and did super well to turn that one behind for a corner kick. And Altona can thank their custodian for that. Other results last night. Port
Mel.
Welcome back to Stead Park here in Geelong for this round 2 NPL Victoria fixture between Altona, Magic and Avondale. Currently it's the visitors Avondale leading 2-0. Goals from Reid and Valentini, and for Altona there hasn't been too much to shout about. There was one reasonable shot on target by Lifton that was well saved by Oldfield, and unfortunately for Altona, Michelle Hemmen was off injured very early in the game and replaced by Lucas Nedanovsky. I'm going to see a change here on half-time. Craig, and have you got that one for us? So we can see that number 12 is coming on for Altona Magic. That's Mohammed. And also it looks like David Trufanov, who started last week, will be included now as well. And we're going to have Will Nuttall is one of the players coming off. So a double change at half-time for the Magic as they look to come back from this 2-0 deficit. Thanks for joining us for the second half. My name is Steve Curtin. I'm joined again here by Craig Fowler. We're just about to get underway for the second half. It's going to be Avondale in their white change strip. They're going to be kicking off and playing to the left of your picture. Welcome back to the second half, Craig. What do you think we can expect?
I think much more the same. I think obviously Magic have seen some of the frailties of the back, hence the reason why they've made 2 defensive changes at half-time, whether that's through injury or tactical. We'll find out, but it's certainly 2 defensive players that have come on. So I think it'll be more of the same, Steve. I think Avondale were, as I've said in the first half, that every time they get the ball, they look to be putting real big pressure on the Magic back 4. And I think nothing will change. I think they'll continue to press in the middle of the park, break the ball, and get it through to the strikers as soon as possible.
So it looks like David Trufanov, who lined up at left back last week, he has come on into the right back position, and the other player who has departed at half-time is to be Bonal Obradovic, who was playing right back in the first half for the Magic. Touch for Fry. Ball inside to Yungo Kim. He can turn and face forward. Can play in Nedanovsky. Goes towards the corner flag and wins the corner. So well done to the youngster there, Nedanovsky. It's a good ball by Kim, and Kim will wander over to take the corner. Be kicking this one into the breeze, so we'll just hang up there for the big man. Unfortunately for Altona, all the ace cards in terms of height are held by Avondale. So anyway, it's going to be Kim to take the in-swinger. Plays it short. It's well cleared away by that Avondale defence. This is Trufanov. Big ball across by Stajeski into the area. Fry gets a touch. Played by Fry. Flushed it over the bar. And the central defender registers Altona's first shot since that one previously by Lifton late in the first half. So he wanders back to position. So it's a new look back 4 from the way they finished the first half. So on the far side at left back, John Stajeski. The centre halves, Mohammed and Charles Fry. The right back is David Trufanov. Trufanov sees this one go out. Take the throw. Well, it's a youthful looking team for the Magic now, you have to say. Just from our position here, you can see that there's team of spring chickens out there for the Magic, just about. Yusuf Ahmed now for Avondale. He's so good on the dribble. Plays inside. It's well cut out by the Magic, though. This is Lifton. Yungo Kim. It was Stajeski here again on the ball now. He's the one that made the interception a moment ago. It was very timely. This is Fry. Straight to Blake Carpenter. Germano deceived by the bobbly bounce. Now Ben Lifton. Inside to Yungo Kim. Here's Brad Murray. Murray fires the shot. There's another warning shot by the Magic just over the bar, and it's a better start to this half by the Magic, Craig.
Yeah, much brighter. Just thinking exactly the same as you, Steve, about how youthful Magic look, and we said that last week as well, that they are a very young side. So as I said earlier on, they're going to be. It's going to take them some time to get into the NPL theme. It's a very quick league. As we spoke about half time, there's not a lot of time for relaxing for us in the first half. It was very rush and go, and but a much better start from Magic. They're in the faces of Avondale right from the kickoff. So hopefully good things to come from Magic in the first half and the second half.
So the Magic have played all their cards now. They've made their 3 subs to make that enforced one early due to the Michelle Hammond injury, and then the 2 changes at half time. Putting it all out there. Now Oldfield on the left boot plays it up the line. Yusuf Ahmed looked to shield his eyes from the sun. This ground does run in an east-west direction, which is unusual for a football field. So players looking towards that right of screen will be looking into the sun in this second half. It's Trufanov back to Fry. And this is Mohammed. Out there to Sajeski. His passes sold his teammate short. Here's Germano. Good interception by Trufanov. And now Mohammed comes away. Carpenter inside to Sakia. The 2 diminutive players combine. Here's Yusuf Ahmed. Good touch off the inside, and then the other inside. Found some space. Anyway, Kim comes away. Lifton. And now Nedinovsky. It's in a chase with Hillier. Hillier just shows his class there and comes away with the ball. Looks for the big switch. It hangs up in the southerly. Big aerial duel there. And now Ivano. And Valentini streams forward. Plays it in for Yusuf Ahmed. He's on the byline and he's offside.
Yeah, it just shows how quickly it can change. So you've got Magic on the attack here. One tackle and it's in the other area with another great ball. Unfortunately, it was offside on this occasion, but well played from Benny Lifton there. Keeps the ball. They just look a little bit more organised second half already. You can see it. You can see it straight away, Steve, that they want to get the ball down and play a little bit more this half, and that's good to see because. A lot of teams, when they're under pressure and they're losing games, that they start panicking and they start liking long balls. Certainly, second couple of minutes in this second half, the boys have come out and they look as if they want to play, which is encouraging.
It is good to see for all the Magic fans tuning into the stream. We hope you can have a more enjoyable second half than the first, as Ristich plays it out to John Stacheski out in front of the club rooms here at Stead Park. Looks to get the ball into the area. Ristich provides the overlap. Back to Sajeski again. Crosses into the 6-yard box. Away by Hillier. Here's Murray with the shot. It was away by Carpenter that time. It was a good strike by Murray on the volley. Picked it up quite cleanly. Here's John Stajeski again. He's got 2 to beat. It's away by Yakupi. And this is Mohammed, one of the half-time substitutes. I've liked his impact so far since he's come on. Looks like an attacking central defensive option. This is Yusuf Ahmed. Looks like he's got it on a string here. Sakia on the run. Still he goes. Sakia, good challenge there. It looked like David Trufanov got back and made the interception. It was very much needed too. And here's the touch for Sami Noor. Can he conjure up some magic here? He looks to take on Reed, and Reed reads it quite well and puts it out for a Magic throw-in.
Very good, Steve. Reads it well. Very good. Play on words. Well done. He's a big unit, as I said in the first half, Reed. So Sami Noor was going to have to do something special to get past him or round him, shall we say? But that's better from Magic. Minutes earlier, Sakui, they should have shot. He got himself a yard of space and really should have put the ball in the back of net. But here we go. There's an opportunity here, and it's fallen into the arms of Chris Oldfield in the Avondale goals.
Decent attempt by Stefan Ristich there too. He found some space. Now he looks like he slotted over more onto that left-hand side of midfield, where we were impressed by his game last week. So I think there's some good adjustments here made by Goran Loznovsky at half-time. Also the inclusion at right full-back of Trufanov. He's been very positive. He's won a couple of key moments and very talkative out there, we've noticed as well, organising and making sure his teammates are switched on and concentrating. And it was something that they have lacked a little bit so far in the very early part of this NPL Victoria season, as he takes the throw himself here to Yungo Kim. Trufanov again, over the top, looking for Sammy Noor. It's a race with Hillier, and it's an offside decision against Sammy Noor in the end. So Hillier will have the last laugh, on this occasion at least. As the sun just drops a bit lower in the sky here now. We fancy by about full time we'll have a sunset that will be, I would say, very appealing on the eye here, Craig, just from our commentary position to look at.
Yeah, and it's certainly dropped a few degrees as well, Steve. We've both had to put our jackets on at half time. But look, it's a cold but very pleasant summer's evening down here in Geelong, and some good football on display from both sides now in the second half. I thought it might have been a bit one-sided coming into it, but it's certainly, as I said, Magic have certainly come into it with a breath of fresh air in the second half, and looking to take the game to Avondale.
This is Yakupi bringing the ball forward for Avondale. So just come back to Katavian. He's got pressure from Ristich, and it's Stefan Ristich winning the free kick. So another positive for Altona. Stefan Ristich definitely looks more dangerous when he operates on that left-hand side. It's taken by Stajeski. Yungo Kim. It's a heavy first touch, but it's in enough space that he can get back onto it. Pressure from Avondale again. Sakia. Looks like he might have been fouled there. He has. There's Brad Murray chasing back. Just clattered into Sakia. Referee tonight, the experienced Adam Babkar, had no hesitation in pulling up play. Here's Germano for Sakia. Valentini, one of the first half goal scorers. Over the top for Sakia, and Vidakangas is able to mop up. The other first half goal scorer being Reed. He was set up by some good play by Sakia for that goal. It was a nice header. He got his head down to about knee height to put it into the back of the net. So he just heads that one back to Chris Oldfield now. So it's been a very intense game so far, and it's just easing. I'd say the intensity is just easing off a tiny bit now. It was sort of like a bit hard to sustain that kind of pressure for 90 minutes, you would say, for teams at this level on a pitch like this too.
Yeah, it was. It was. The first half was very frantic, to say the least. Not a lot of time in between any stoppages or breaks in play, but seems to have calmed down a little bit now, and both teams are looking to play. You mentioned the wind there, Steve. It's blowy, a very blowy left or right, as we're looking at the pitch, and it is going to cause some problems for Magic if they look to play the long balls, as we saw in the first half. But they didn't seem to be playing long balls this half. They look to be wanting to get the ball down on the floor and moving it, and it's far better this half than it was in the second half. And just be to see how different. Just be interesting to see how Avondale cope with what Magic are trying to produce in the second half, because it was totally different in the first, as we saw. Yeah, offside there.
Sammy Noor getting involved a little bit more, and that's certainly what Altona need in this second half. They've got to get the ball into his feet, get him facing forward and creating things for those players like Ristich, who can come in the wide areas down the left, and Nednowski down the right. Now this is Blake Carpenter, who's in the pink boots tonight. He was in green last week. Trufanov to Lifton. Yungo Kim's touch goes astray. Germano with the big switch. He's out there looking for Katavian. This is Valentini. Valentini now on the ball. Calls for handball. Yakupi on the overlap. And Yusuf Ahmed, his control goes up in the air, and Valentini over the bar. It set up somewhat nicely for him, but in the end he couldn't get his foot over the top half of the ball to keep that one down and under the crossbar. That's actually gone into the training goal behind there, Craig, so maybe you could say he was aiming for that one.
Yeah, another good opportunity. Very calm and composed on the ball, waiting for the opportunity to get the ball into the box. But should have done better with that one inside the 18-yard box. Look for power instead of perhaps placement. But over the bar, and opportunity for Magic to regather their thoughts. But there's an opportunity here straight away, and it's gone wide, and it's an awful play from Magic there, trying to force the play out instead of taking their time and turn the ball over. And fortunately for Magic, it was Stefan Valentini's shot was wayward of the far post.
Yes, I have to say it looked for a moment like it was going to sneak in at that near post, Craig, but it didn't. Now, what I've just noticed is Joey Katavian's actually switched onto this near side, so it's a change by Zoran Markowski to counter those changes at half-time by Goran Lozanowski. So he's going to be going head-to-head with David Trufanov to keep him accountable. Now here's Blake Carpenter on the charge. Plays it into the feet of Valentini. Touched by Trufanov, and Bavkar waited for the advantage, brings the play back for the free kick. Good refereeing by him. And that means Yusuf Ahmed has switched wings as well. He's out on that far right-hand side. On the ball now. There he goes. Inside to Yitte Towns. This is Reed, one of the first half goal scorers. And Hillier. A real sense of urgency when the central defenders get on the ball. They want to play it forward. They want things to happen. And now Towns and Germano looks to play the switch. But Yusuf Ahmed had come too far inboard to provide enough width there. Now Brad Murray, he's got Ristich to his left. Still he goes. Oldfield is across to save the corner. And just puts it into touch in front of the social rooms here at Stead Park. So Altona still trailing 2-0, but looking a little bit better than they were in that first half. And just as I say that, it's an unfortunate touch by Yungo Kim. But both these managers, they are good friends, and I did hear during the week on Avenger Radio on FNR that Zoran Markowski did praise the way that Altona went about it last week. Obviously, they're up against it with their huge turnover of players, and then obviously 2 red cards last week, and he was impressed by the way that they kept the ball and their intentions in general play as well. It was they weren't lumping it forward, they were trying to build it up. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and we said that last week as well, Steve. We were at the game, and if it wasn't for their 2 sending off, I think the game would have been far closer. Remembering, Hume only scored the second goal in injury time, so it is a new team, as we said earlier on. They are it is going to take them some time, but they're trying to play football. Fair play to the players. They're trying to get the ball down. They're trying to play. They're trying to look for those the quick breaks when they can. And of course, they haven't really got an out-and-out striker as such up front, and a little bit of to-do going on in the far corner. Yeah, if you can hear some foul language, just do apologise for this. We've got a little bit of a fracas on the far side. Just trying to have a look at it on the. It's a free kick for sure, but it's nothing more than that. And then everybody seems to jump in. Your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, well, John Stachewski there, he lunged in for the tackle. It was, definitely a foul. And maybe the intention came from Avondale, that they felt that it was a bit more unsavoury than what is permissible on a football field. Maybe a bit late and a bit crude, so it just kicked off there like you wouldn't believe. Things have settled down now. We have got one of the most experienced referees going around in Adam Bavkar in the centre to sort this one out, but it's going to be very difficult because there was a lot happening. He's got all of his assistant referees assembled in there. Max Hanlon and Josh Drakeford are the other 2 assistant referees here tonight. And he's going to have to make a hard call here, I think, because often these scenes where a third man, or in this case a third, fourth, fifth and sixth man come running in, they don't look good, and referees are advised to take action against them. So there's a long debate going on here between the officials, and we're going to have to see what comes of it here. But in other news, right in front of us, the star man for Avondale, he didn't play last week. He's ready to come on. There's going to be a big drum roll when he does, and it's Liam Boland, 22 goals last season in NPL Victoria. The star striker is ready to be injected into this game. As we just wait for what sanctions are going to be placed on players involved in this fracas. It's not something you expect to see in a NPL Victoria level game. Maybe something more in a lower league, in a state league perhaps. You might see something like this, but as you can see, there's some issues here. As it looks like Valentini's had his shirt completely ripped down the front, so he's going to need a different shirt. And still the delay continues.
Yeah, I think the issue here for Adam Babkar is the amount of players that were in there, Steve. It's, you know, between the three officials, they've got to try and untangle the web that was the incident, and try and make sure that they penalise those that were involved. So I don't think it'll be any more than Stern talking to rather, and maybe a few yellow cards. I'll be amazed if there's anything more than that.
So we've seen a yellow card go to Vidakangas, and it looks like a yellow card's going to go to the man with the ripped shirt, which is Valentini. Another yellow card to John Stajeski, the man who committed the original foul. So that's understandable. And we don't know if the sanctions have now finished or if that's enough. So we've seen 3 yellow cards waived that we are aware of. So that they have gone to Vidakangas, Stajeski and Valentini. And Valentini's coming over. Well, he might not need a new shirt because he might actually be the player making way for Liam Boland here, I think, Craig. It's an interesting look, isn't it? That the ripped shirt with the GPS top underneath.
Yeah, it's very, very fetching. It's something you'd probably wear out on a Saturday night in Geelong, Steve, no? But Liam Boland takes the pitch. It's obviously, as Steve said, he didn't play last week. He's a big unit. I didn't realise just how big he is. But he's going to have that aerial prowess in the middle of the box there. Already a very big Avondale side against the less maligned Altona Magic players. But I would imagine this is going to be an in-swinger from the far side of the pitch. Again, if you look at that, everybody inside that 6-yard box. So again, Babkar's going to have to keep his eyes peeled on an incident in the middle of but it's gone out there and it's gone out for a corner.
It was aimed in at that near post. It was left-footed Blake Carpenter. He's going to go and take the corner now. So we were saying that Avondale possesses quite a lot of height with their central defensive pairing. Well, now Liam Boland can add to that height as well. So certainly the set pieces are going to be quite difficult for this young Altona side that doesn't have the same sort of height. Now everyone's gathered around that near post area. It's going to be Carpenter to swing it in. As we said, you know where it's going. Puts up the one hand, in it goes to the near post, but he's hit that one too skinny and it just hits the side netting. So all in all, that's a bit of a waste there for Avondale. As Vidakangas gets us back underway, the calls were that the ball was still rolling when he kicked it. Adam Babkar says, no, we'll just keep going, thank you very much. Carpenter with the throw. It's back to Hillier. And now Oldfield. It's the sun dropping lower and lower here. We hope that's not affecting your picture too much. Reed into the feet of Boland, who gets his first touch, which is a slightly heavy one. It goes to Lifton, gets it back off Murray. Yungo Kim with the first time pass. Here's Murray looking to dribble through some tight spaces. Stajeski, one of the men who were just booked, and now Trufanov on the... Ristich was on the left. Now Yungo Kim over the top. It's a way by Reed. He read that one best. Yitay Towns. And now this is Katavian, who's gone back to the right wing. Boland now puts his foot on the ball, holds it up. Towns has to switch it out to this near side. This is Hillier. Germano pops up wide on the left. And now here's a chance for Carpenter to get to the byline. Cuts it back. And well read by Mohammed. Got in the right place there. Another turnover. Yusuf Ahmed. Good pressure from... Here's Sakia again, though. Sakia still he goes. Back to Germano. Good possession being enjoyed by Avondale. Yakupi. Long by Reed, looking for Sakia. Good first touch into Yusuf Ahmed. Looks to go onto his left. And he turns the 180 again. Still he goes. Some half shouts for a penalty, but he never went to ground, so you couldn't see how that would be given. Now, good bit of play here. This is Ned Noski, first half substitute. He's turned it over. Now Katavian. Can Avondale add to this 2-0 lead? Yakupi on that far side. Boland. Still he goes, Liam Boland. Into the feet of Sakia, looking for Germano. And Boland with the two players arriving. Couldn't find them with his little first touch pass. This is Towns. Stajeski comes in, and now this is Stefan Ristic. He can cross the halfway line. He's got Sammy Noor in support. But there was just so many white shirts back there, Craig. It was just never going to happen.
Yeah, good defending from Avondale, but no support there for Ristic. I think it was that was made his way forward, and as we said, I think it's going to be their bit of nemesis this season is their who's going to put the ball in the net for them for Magic. They haven't got that prolific player up front, as we said. They bought Martin Hennon in last season, and obviously he's injured today. But it's going to be interesting to see how they adopt. And get into those goal scoring opportunities. Who's going to step up to the ball to take those chances? So they're certainly going to get chances. It's who's going to take them.
And we're going to see a change in a moment, I think, Craig. It's going to be Jai Spiteri coming on. And the man leaving the pitch is the goal scorer, returning from injury today, Matt Reed. Get an early mark, which is, I presume, a bit of injury management from Avondale, you'd think, Craig.
Yes, I saw the Avondale coaches asking him if he was okay about 5 minutes ago. So maybe it's a precautionary measure. Just come back in and maybe give him 60 minutes, see how he gets on, and get him ready for next week. So he's done well, the big lad there. He's a big unit, as we say, and started off a little bit rusty, but got back into the game and scored his goal for the side.
So a good chance for Jai Spiteri to slot into defence for this last 20 minutes of this one. This is Davor Trufanov, sees it out. I can actually see from our commentary position that there's some ice being applied to the thigh of Matt Reed. Hopefully he's okay. Carpenter's touch, looking for Boland. It's a free header, but it goes straight to Mohammed. Pressure from Sakia, he needs to be careful. Long by Vidakangas, and here's a touch for Spiteri. He just goes back to Oldfield. So while Avondale have been by far the dominant team today, at 2-0, it's still not done and dusted yet, you think, at this stage. Still 20 minutes to go. If the Magic can somehow conjure up a goal here against the run of play, it's going to be a grandstand finish. They have been better in this second half. This is Kim battling with Towns. Spiteri. Sakia's got space to play the switch out here. Yusuf Ahmed brings it down. Boland provides the overlap. Ahmed looks to go inside. And again, good bit of defending by Trufanov there, Craig.
Yeah, he's done really well since he's come on. Actually, he's a solid unit there at the in the right back position for Magic. Just going back to your earlier comment, Steve, about that Magic are still in this. They are, but I just don't know, as I said earlier on, where their goal's going to come from or how they're going to get their second goal, because they're defending very deep. When they do get the ball, there's not enough penetration up front to be able to get to the key areas of the pitch that it needs to. So for me, it's again, like it was last week, I think keep it as limitations as down as low as they possibly can. I just don't see where they're going to score. This player's working really, really hard, but with very little end result in it. So 2-0 to Avondale. We're in the 74th minute of the game, and we'll see what both sides can conjure up in the next 20 minutes. And there's a mistake there from Avondale defender. I think it was Carpenter, was it? No, it was Joyce Pateri there who just stepped on the ball, but managed to compose himself and relieve some pressure.
Well, it was almost an opening for John Stajeski, who'd pushed forward into that advanced position temporarily, and it's just that sort of somehow lapse in concentration is probably the only way that we can see Altona scoring at the moment. As we said, they're sitting a little bit deep. Their set piece opportunities few and far between. Now here's Carpenter on the overlap. Can't keep it in. He's actually knocked the corner flag right out of the ground. There you go. If he was a cricketer fielding at cover, he would have been very impressed with himself there, Craig. And no one's offering to go and put the corner flag back, so Adam Babkar wanders over and replaces it himself. There you go. He's a real all-rounder as a referee, is Adam Babkar. He's back in his position, and he's going to blow for play to continue. As Trufanov takes the throw, touched by Kim. Trufanov's got a little bit under that one, more than he would have liked. This clears the fence here on the outer side of Stead Park. The late afternoon or early evening shadows stream across the playing surface. Carpenter and Lifton do battle. Sammy Noor had his pocket picked by Yitte Towns. Two casuals, the call from the Avondale bench. So I think even Avondale can sense they just need to pick it up a couple of notches here. 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, as they say in the old footballing adages, Craig.
Yeah, Steve, it's just Magic are dropping a little bit further back, which is causing Avondale a few more problems, because now they can't play the type of balls that they were looking for in the first half, which was in behind the two fullbacks, because they're dropping a little bit deeper, giving them less space behind. So they're having to think a little bit differently now, Avondale, and when Magic do press, it's very high up the pitch. So as you see as we're looking at the pitch now, they're still very deep. The back four of Magic, almost 10 meters, 15 meters inside their own half. So they're trying to get Magic to play through the middle and try and nullify them through that area.
Touch there by Charles Fry was overhit and goes out. As we said, it's been a big day of football here today at Stead Park in Geelong. We've seen the 18s, under 20s, and now the seniors. There's also been a match between the two sister clubs in Geelong Soccer Club and Preston. That ended 0-0. It was only a few weeks ago that the Macedonian Cup took place at the home ground of Plenty Valley Lions. And there's a lot of the Macedonian footballing family here today at Stead Park. This is Hillier to Oldfield. Altona Magic recently hosted a special tribute to the late Daniel Madden-Oski. Tragically passed away during the summer, and Altona doing some good work in the community, put on a special day, the Daniel Mladenovsky Cup. Daniel's involved here at Altona Magic and also at Hoppers Crossing. So a lot of the good work that these local clubs put in, some people might not hear about, but that's an example of that. They're supporting the family of Daniel. Our condolences go out to you. Here's Murray on the ball now, crossing the halfway line. 1-2 with Ristich, and it's overhit. Goes out. So for all of Altona's efforts to up the intensity, they just can't quite get anything to translate into scoring opportunities still, Craig.
Yeah, Steve, they're trying very hard, but just it's not falling for them. They haven't got the runners, and they once they get into that final third, they looks null and void. That they've got no real ideas of how to get in behind the Avondale back four here, and it's just something they're going to have to work on over the next couple of weeks. Back on the training ground this week, and try and work up some kind of game plan for when they get into because they look pretty solid around the rest of the pitch. They look, solid, organised now. It's just that final ball, final area of the pitch that's letting them down at the moment. In fact, I can't actually remember them having a shot yet. Have they had a shot at Oldfield yet in this game? I don't believe they have.
Just the one by Lifton in the first half. It was thrown into the chest of Oldfield, but yeah, shots on target. Well, that's the only one, maybe one or two that we can actually remember. We don't have the stats available to us right now. This is Germano. Carpenter looking for Boland. Looks to touch it out in front of his feet. Pressure from two. Boland, still he goes. He's gone down, and now Sakia with the shot. It's over the bar. It was a good chance. He side-footed it. Maybe bobbled just in front of him, but he couldn't keep it below the crossbar. And that would have been the icing on the cake for what's been a 5-star performance by Sakia today. And in fact, that is his final action of the day. Great performance. Tasuku Sakia. And the man coming into the game, Christos Theodorakopoulos. So he's going to drop into midfield, wearing the number 12 in the long sleeves. This is Murray. He can face forward, cross the halfway line. And play it out there to Stefan Ristic. Overlapped by John Stucheski. Towns to Ahmed. He's got Boland and Katavian in support. Still he goes. Well read by Fry. Came across. Cleared it into the car park and then tangled with the fence over there as well. Showing his gymnastic capabilities there, Charles Fry. So we are inside the last 10 minutes of regular time. Boland with a flick. Away by Mohammed. Lifton plays it towards the corner. It's going to be Hillier there first. Another touch for Oldfield. As Craig was saying, it has been an easy day for Oldfield today. Not a lot of practice of shot stopping. Carpenter flew highest there. Trufanov got the final clearance though. And now it's Joey Katavian. And it's been pulled up for a handball, much to the disgust of the Avondale bench, who can't believe it. And now here go the Magic, and again it's another hopeful ball there. Stefan Ristic was out there, but it just runs straight through to Dylan Yakupi. So again, it's not quite working out at all for the Magic. They're running out of time. They need a goal urgently. Just wonder if they could throw an extra player forward even, Craig. Would you consider doing that at the moment?
I'm not sure I would, Steve. I think, let's keep it to what it is. It's 2-0. As I said last week, it's sometimes it's damage limitations. If you go and try chasing the game, with a team like Avondale, they're likely to catch you on the counter-attack, and it could be 3 or 4. But look, they have to throw caution to the wind. They have to try and just get into attacking positions and hope that something falls right for them. At the moment, it's not. But I certainly wouldn't be throwing caution to the wind and putting another player up at the moment. I think I'd keep it and see if they can get back into it. Once they get back into it, 2-0, as we know, is a very difficult score. It takes one opportunity, one goal, and the game changes very, very quickly.
And of course, Altona have already used up all of their substitutions. That was at half time. If they come forward, here's a chance, but it's blocked away by that Avondale defence and cleared out by Towns. There's urgency from Trufanov to take the throw. Katavian gets onto a gallop. Looks inside. Another good challenge by Trufanov. Fry's copped one in the face there. Yep. He's gone down holding his face. Germano might have to put this ball out, and in fact, Adam Bavkar stops play. And Bavkar will have to take control here. There's a bit of a dispute between a couple of players. Tempers have already boiled over earlier in this match after the tackle by John Stajeski. Incensed some of the Avondale players. Ended up seeing Valentini leave the park with his shirt ripped, sporting a new fashion look that Craig thinks might go all right on the town in Geelong tonight, perhaps. So we're saying this match being played here at Stead Park in Geelong, the change rooms at Altona Magic's ground, Paisley Park, being upgraded at the moment. Fry's just feeling his lip for any swelling. Just running through the other scores of the round. As we said, it was the thrilling 3-3 draw at Knights Stadium last night between the Knights and the Thunder. Port Melbourne and Bentley was 1-1. Green Gully suffered a 2-0 home loss at the hands of local rival Hume. And it was 1-1 between Dandenong City and St Albans in the Croatian derby. And Oakley continued their good start to the season with a 3-2 win over Heidelberg, Craig.
Yeah, 3-2 win with White scoring on 45 minutes, with Guest on 47 and Knowles on 79. They've started the season really well, as you said, and they're going to be contenders for me this season. I think them, Hume, will certainly be up there, along with our the team we're watching tonight, Avondale. I think they'll be certainly up there as well, and of course Bentley Greens. But it's very, very early. We're 2 games into the season, and still lots and lots of football to play this year. But one thing that I have noticed of late, and it's not in football general, not just NPL, Steve, is how many late goals there are now. What's that down to? Is it lack of concentration? Is it what is it? Because wherever you look now, whether it's EPL, whether it's the La Liga, or obviously last night in the NPL, so many late goals now, and it'd be interesting to hear off people what their thoughts are of why there's so many late goals now.
Well, it was certainly a bizarre incident last night with Chakarun's goal kick running a bit short. Ended up with him being sent off as well, so they've also got to deal with not having him next week, the Knights. Oh, nutmeg on Brad Murray by Katavian. I was waiting for everyone on the sidelines to cheer that little nutmeg, but it didn't happen. Lucas Nednoski won the free kick there. David Trifanov to take it. He's looking long, but there's just not a lot of height up there. And Hillier just towers all over Lifton there. Katavian, that came off the back of his neck, that header. Away by Trufanov. He's been really good since coming on at half-time. Yungo Kim. Touched by Katavian. Boland. Yusuf Ahmed. He's got Towns to his right. Yakupi's coming around the outside. Germano. Theodorakopoulos involved. It's just sitting in central midfield after coming on for star man Sakia. And Sakia has been on the sidelines since coming off. He's just had the ball under the calf, just trying to roll out a bit of tightness. I know you've been working out this morning, Craig. You don't need to borrow that after Sakia's finished with that one.
No, I'm a fitness freak now, Steve. There's a body and a stomach like an ironing board. Unfortunately, mine's still got the iron still on it. So, just doing a couple of stretches. He worked hard there, the young fella. Very technical, very accomplished player there for Avondale in the middle of the park. And One to watch out for this season. I think he's a good young player, as a lot of the Asian Japanese players are, very technically very good. And a mistake there from Avondale and an opportunity, and that's a shot that's very way hood, and goes back to my original thoughts about where their goals are going to come from this year, because shots like that, they're never going to score.
Just we saw another nutmeg there by Katavian right in front of our cameras, and the fourth official there. That was on Lucas Nednoski, so he's racking up the nutmegs now. On the score where it does count though, it is still 2-0 to Avondale. And unlike most of the games last week, we still have 11 aside here. There's been no sendings off. There was a melee midway through the second half. To that foul by John Stajeski, where things kicked off. Now here's Katavian. He's got some space wide on the left here. Fry comes over to close him down. Katavian's low ball, away by Mohammed. And it's going to go behind for a corner. So, another chance for Avondale to make it 3 here. So, some interesting comments coming in on the Facebook stream. Avondale could go for the jugular, but they haven't yet. Of course, such a successful season last year. It ended up just falling short in the grand final after 120 minutes, losing on penalties. And so good in the league as well last season, 16 wins. And only ended up finishing in second place. That's actually been changed to 6th place now after the sanctions that were applied to the club in retrospect for last season, in addition to the 3-point deduction they've started this season with. So he said they will go to 0 points after a win today. And it's a foul here, so a chance for the Magic to attempt a set-piece opportunity. As the sun sets towards the west there, over the hills in Geelong. Lovely banks out there, nice part of town. It's the first time we've seen NPL Victoria at the top division in Geelong for some time. Anyway, it's going to be the left-footed Yungo Kim to take. Swings it in, it's a good area. It's away by that Avondale defence, but it's still bouncing around though. Carpenter hits it up the line. That's a more convincing clearance. And Trifonov puts it out into touch. Avondale, they're in no rush to take this throw in. We are into injury time now. Did you catch how many minutes will be added on, Craig?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes, Steve, and we're eating up into that now. We're coming to the end of the first minute, so just over 3 minutes left of injury time, and thought it was a good opportunity for Magic there. I think that would have certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons with a couple of minutes left, but it didn't come to anything, and I think Avondale now will just see the game out unless they can get a one here just to finish it off. But yeah, they'll look to see the game out now and get the 3 points that gets them on the ladder, on the run, as we say.
Here's Theodorakopoulos. He goes back to fellow substitute Giles Batiri. So for Avondale, next Friday night they're off for an away fixture at Green Gully, and then they will take on Dandenong City. That's also an away fixture, and they'll finally play their first home game the week following that. They'll be at Avenger Park against Melbourne Knights. So they're waiting to round 5 for their first home game. As is the case with Altona Magic, this is a home game for them today, but they won't play at their actual home ground until round 5 as well. So next week they will be on the road at Heidelberg. That'll be played at CB Smith Reserve in Fawkner, because of course Heidelberg is another ground that's being renovated. We do look forward to seeing how that will look when it's all done. And then they will play Oakley at Jack Edwards Reserve. So a couple of tough fixtures coming up for Goran Lozanowski's side. As we said, they will have players coming back from suspension next week, so he'll have a few more options, which will be good for him on the training park this week as he prepares for those upcoming games. And almost broke there for Sammy Noor. He's been a bit of a forlorn figure today. He's tried his best, but there's just been no supply, really, for Sammy Noor.
No, as I keep saying, without sounding like a broken record, it's that area of the pitch that is going to cause them problem this year. I think a couple of comments about why Avondale haven't gone for the jugular and scored 4 or 5. I think the reason for that is I think Avondale have defended, Magic have defended really well in this second half. They've dropped a little bit deeper, not allowing the space in behind them for Avondale to run into, and that's caused some problems for Avondale. But yeah, going back, I think Sammy Nor's worked hard up there, as is the young lad Nednowski here on the right hand side, but to no avail, unfortunately.
Taken quickly by Carpenter, but it's cut out by Stefan Ristich, so a lapse in concentration there. Carpenter blocks that one, touched by Germano. He's been consistent today, as has this man, Yusuf Ahmed. He's good on the ball, just shields the ball well there. It's a lesson to any young player watching, just shielding the ball, keeping it out in front of him, and then plays a good ball across the park as Avondale switch the play here. This is Yakupi with the cross. It's a searching ball looking for Boland off the chest, and Germano with the shot, blocked by Trufanov. And that's enough, says Adam Babkar. We're all done at Stead Park in Geelong for this fixture, and it's a 2-0 win to Avondale. They are on the board for 2020. Goals from Matt Reid and Stefan Valentini, both in the first half. And for the Magic, there wasn't a lot to shout about. It was Lifton created one of the chances, but other than that, it was a disappointing day that saw Michelle Hemmon substituted after cluttering with Reid early in the game. And it's certainly a happy day for the boys from Adventure Park, Craig.
Yeah, I think a comfortable win for them in the end, 2-0. Magic huffed and puffed and made it difficult, but look, very, very comfortable win for Avondale, and gets them the 3 points and gets them on the ladder and gets them to 0. But yeah, good performance from them. Certainly in the first half, Magic were much better in the second half, and certainly things to take in for Goran and as they look to get their first win of the season.
So as we see there, the 2 shots on target for Altona just wasn't really enough. Only the 5 for Avondale, but they were very efficient with their ball use today, creating those chances and finishing them well. That header by Reid, set up by Sakia, and Valentini, who was teed up by Katabian, for 2 very nice goals for the boys from Avondale. So they will fancy their chances next week against Green Gully, and that game at Green Gully Reserve should be a good one. And the final game of this weekend's round, South Melbourne take on Eastern Lions at Lakeside. South getting in their fill of home games before the Grand Prix takes the stranglehold on the Albert Park area. That game is tomorrow at Lakeside at 5 p.m. Get along to that one if you can. If you can't, please enjoy it on our Facebook Live or YouTube streams through the NPL Victoria channels. And until we meet again, this has been Craig Fowler and Steve Curtin signing off from Stead Park in Geelong, where the match finishes Altona Magic 0, Avondale 2. Good night.